What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. We got to talk a little bit about Zion Williamson on today. Now, he's in trouble with this tech company by the name of Anchor. And what supposedly happened was his father was supposed to represent him as an agent. And he went to this company and asked for $150K up front to be wired to his account. And allegedly, the mother had some wired to hers too. And they wanted the impression Zion was going to be the face of the brand, be a brand ambassador, right? And it didn't happen for Anchor. And the business relationship went sour. And like this thing, he was asking for some money because he was like, they need some endorsement. They need some money based off Zion being hurt. Because his endorsement money was on hold at the time because of his injuries. I guess all his contracts are written up to see if he's injured or not. You know what I'm saying? So that happened, and then, it got nasty, and they told them to pay back $500K by April 25th, and, the rest of the loan by July 6th. But they wrote a check and it bounced, allegedly. And so here we are. And they owe him $1.8 million. And Anchor's trying to take it to court, man. Let's check it out.
From his days dunking to a different kind of court, Carolina native and NBA star Zion Williamson is getting sued by a tech company who say Williamson and his family owe them millions of dollars.
In a civil lawsuit filed this week in New Orleans, California-based tech company Anchor made the claim that Zion, his stepfather, and his mother have failed to pay back $1.8 million of a $2 million loan. Anchor reportedly made the loan in September of 2021 while trying to establish a marketing relationship with the Pelicans all-star power forward and eventually make him a spokesperson for their company. So we have a lot to get to in this case, and we got to bring in the big guns for it. Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes is here to talk more about really what's at play here.
Yeah, and Khalif, this is really against Zion's whole family.
It is.
Not just him, yeah.
It is, and so obviously you have these players that are represented by a number of different folks. And in this situation, his father, or stepfather, I should say, is being sued because he was acting as his manager. And so when I had an opportunity to look at the complaint, it said that they were under the belief, Anchor, the company, was under the belief that he represented Williams' best interest. The father did, and so they negotiated with him, and the stepfather requested $150,000 up front before he could even talk with them. So that's part of the claim. And additionally, his mother is being sued because the money that was wired, the $2 million, was wired to her bank account. And so, yes, this is a family affair in terms of this complaint. These cryptocurrency companies, these blockchain companies, they all popped up a few years ago during the pandemic. And they were looking for athletes and entertainers to be, spokesperson. And so obviously it didn't work out for him to be their spokesperson, but now they want a return on their investment, or at least get their original investment back.
Well, yeah, so isn't $2 million for a big-time NBA All-Star just kind of a drop in the bucket here?
I mean, obviously he's that is, and so obviously, because when you first come into that type of money as an NBA player, doesn't mean you become financially sound. So I think that's the best place to start.
The $150,000 up front's also a red flag.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we're going to continue, but who exactly is in charge of Zion's affairs? Because it seems like it's all over the place right now. He's able to just wire money to girls, no accountant, no accountability there. His father seems to be digging in the pot. Well, his stepfather, he seems to be digging in the pot, doing different things. And Zion may or may not know, but this seems like one of those situations where you're gonna have to cut everybody's hand off just trying to dig in your pot.
But remember, this is if you believe you have a rightful have earned that money, then maybe he's not saying that I can't pay it back, but should I pay it back? And I think that part will come out in court, and we haven't really figured that portion out. But in the whole totality of everything, you think, hey, if you borrowed $2 million, you're making $140 million, just go ahead and give it back. But in his mind, he's like, well, we probably have already earned that, and I would assume that's the reason why it hasn't been paid back. Not for lack of having, but lack of have you guys fully required us to give it back, and I don't know if they have yet.
Yeah, and in his short NBA NBA career, Zion obviously has been hurt, but also he's had a lot of off-the-court type of stuff in court, and he's no stranger to being sued. He sued someone else in North Carolina here.
He is not a stranger to being sued in or suing someone, and his name has been in a lot of different circles for other potential lawsuits. His most recent lawsuit was in North Carolina, where he wanted to get out of his contract. He got representation while he was still at Duke, and he said that, listen, this contract is one that I should not have to stick to, and he had signed with a larger company out in California, Creative Arts. Once he did that, he wanted to get released from this contract. The judge said, yeah, you can get out of the contract for a number of reasons. That firm that he got with in North Carolina didn't follow the North Carolina rules. That was the main thing that the judge said. They had to give him notification that he could get out of the contract within 14 days. They didn't do that. And their folks that worked in their agency weren't licensed in the NBA. So the judge said, because of those two reasons, we'll relieve you of their contract. On a side note, the person that he sued, the agent, countersued him. The judge dismissed that case as well. So, yes, he's had a number of interactions in a short amount of time with the court system on and off the court.
And it could likely get even stickier the more deals that come your way. And yeah, only time will tell.
It will. It will.
So, man, as you can see, everything surrounding Zion Williamson is a bit out of control. From, you know, sending strippers hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. There's no excuse for that. But it seems like there's been some bad investments, some bad partnerships along the way. And he's found himself in court, injured, not playing games, you know, not whatever the deal is, the two sides not meeting in the middle. So his name is kind of getting bad for, okay, he's not going to be on the court to play. He's sending women all kind of money. You see him as someone who is a candidate for being broke after his playing days. We don't wish that on him, but you know, some of the habits are present for that type of athlete, you know, or former athlete after his playing days, you know. And what I would say is Zion needs to get a team around him to get his affairs in order. And sometimes that could be your family, but it looks like in this case, he may just need some professionals, you know, that have his best interests at heart. Because let's face it, you know, this will be the third year of that new contract or second year of that new contract. Yeah, this will be just the second year of that new contract. It's built out like a football contract in many ways, where it's, you know, you have your milestones you hit for Supermaxes and everything, but he has even more things in there, like games played, body fat, and all kinds of stuff you don't really see in most pro athletes' contracts. When Joel Embiid had that contract, you know, structured like that, it was different. They just want to see, would he be healthy enough to play, not all of these other incidents and things surrounding Zion Williamson. Another report had came out saying that they ready to pull the plug on the Zion Williamson New Orleans thing. And I felt like they should have done that 2 years ago. He gave you no reason to really keep him up to this point. So I think they're getting what they deserve. He showed you who he was for the first few years. As far as a player, I ain't even talking about this other stuff. This other stuff is just icing on the cake. But he showed you that his health would be compromised throughout his career. And still they saw evidence of, just because of his stats in a short amount of time, they saw that as a franchise player. So, and you couple that with like CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, those guys being frustrated that he didn't even try to go in the play-in situation visibly, you know, audibly. They said it in the exit meetings, you know. So yeah, man, I don't know, man. Tell me what you think about Zion Williamson, though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.